reportedly San Francisco is next. I can tell you, take a look at this article that just came out moments ago. The appeals court is lifting the block on Trump's Oregon troop deployment. We can tell you this, just breaking within the last hour or so, Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals saying, yep, you can send the National Guard in to Oregon. This is a big deal. It'll likely get appealed again, but it's a pretty monumental decision. And I think it suggests that as we watch Illinois advance to the Supreme Court, as we watch California advance to the Supreme Court, then you might have a lot of justices making the decision that we need as a nation to ensure that we have a way to keep people safe. And if a city or community is not willing to do it, then maybe you need the National Guard there. I want to go to Dan Bongino because he was talking about the importance of this morning on Fox, and he gives us sort of a behind the scenes look. It actually makes me miss his podcast, but he gives us a behind the scenes look at all that's happening. And Dan is saying, like, look, this president's committed to just making sure that people are safe. Like, we shouldn't have cities like this. Watch.
With regards to this crush and violent crime, whether it's in San Francisco, Chicago, any other major city. Early on, this is kind of the untold story of this op. I get appointed, announced in February, come in March, cash is there a little bit earlier. President brings us in early, and in essence, this is kind of the behind the scenes, guys. He says to us, you know, listen, I'm a builder. I'm in a lot of these big cities. He has just zero tolerance for violent crime. He just does. He drives around Washington, D.C. on these OTRs, off the record movements. He sees homelessness, crime. He can't stand it. He says, what do we got to do to fix this? And we basically lay out a bunch of things. And his answer is very simple. President's like, go get them, boys. Go get them. That was it. Like, you do what you have to do. So we got in there, Cash and I, and we brought in the best SACs, special agents in charge across the country, guys who had forgotten more about crime and enforcing it than most people ever know. They've done this their whole lives. One of them we pulled in from Phoenix. He had an amazing job out there. We said, hey, his name's Joe. I said, Joe, you tell me what we need to do to go get these demon savages off the street. Tell me what we need to do. We brought in a violent crime roundtable of the best crim agents in the country. We figured out a battle plan, how to kind of water balloon. You know, when you squeeze a water balloon, you get a bulge. How do we bulge agents here and then bulge agents there? And we cleaned up at the president's direction, the director and I, with the SACs and the agents in the field. We water ballooned around the country and made, get a load of this, guys. This is going to trip you out. 28,000 violent crime arrests in 2025, and the year's not even over. You say, oh, what does that mean? Put it in comparison. Prior 3-4 years, the FBI under prior leadership had averaged about 15, 16,000. We're at 28,000. 28,000. We're not even done with the year. We haven't even hit Thanksgiving or Christmas yet. Shows you when you get a president, an attorney general, a deputy attorney general, and an FBI leadership team that lets the FBI do FBI work instead of getting into other nonsense in the past. Look what happens. Your cities get cleaner.
Dan, the governor's going to push back.
You know. That's like basically they're doing double the arrests of criminals. And you know that this is because exactly what Dan said. You know, if you get an FBI in there and you unleash them and say, hey, you guys go do your job. And if you're here to keep America safe, let's keep America safe, as opposed to being bogged down in DEI and God knows what else, right? Or, oh, I don't know, going after those Catholics that go to Mass in Latin. You know, they're a real threat. Or, oh, those parents that keep showing up at school board meetings because they're upset that their daughter's running track against a naturally born male and losing her first place ribbon and possibly her scholarship to college. God forbid you might actually focus on actual criminals as opposed to what they were focusing on, which goes back to Arctic Frost. It goes back to the 30 million phone records. It goes back to what they were trying to do, which was cut off half the country. Never allow us to speak again. Unbelievable stuff. Listen, the president's not done. He's not done. He's going after Illinois and Chicago. And believe me, already planning on Oregon, San Francisco, buckle up. Gavin Newsom. That's funny, right? You're next.
But the governor, who got thrown out of his business by his family because he's a dope, but the governor, Pritzker, he doesn't want us in. You know, if I were him, if I were a Democrat and I were him, I'd say, come on in. What do you have to lose?
And you're going to go to San Francisco next.
We're going to go to San Francisco. The difference is I think they want us in San Francisco. San Francisco was truly one of the great cities of the world. And then 15 years ago, it went wrong. It went woke. Remember my statement? Anything woke is,
Broke.
I used a filthy, well, broke is another word. I used a filthy word, but I didn't.
No.
I took enough heat on that. I won't say it again, but it's true. I mean, nothing changes, right? But we're going to go to San Francisco, and we're going to make it great. We're going to make it great. It'll be great. Again, San Francisco is a great city. It won't be great if it keeps going like this.
He's right. I mean, San Francisco's so bad. I don't know if we have any San Francisco residents in the chat right now, but like, it's astonishing how bad it was and is. I mean, I lived there 25 years ago and it was bad then, but I mean, my husband was there recently. He's like, Trish, you just wouldn't believe it. Like Market Street. Whoa. I mean, Market Street. And, you know, they talk about how, you know, people go into those like zombie-like positions. They've got a problem in San Francisco. And so apparently the San Francisco Chronicle did an article on this, on how there's drug trafficking that's coming in from Honduras, and they're actually trying to really stop that. You see what the president's been doing, going after some of these Venezuelan boats. A lot of the trafficking goes through Venezuela. So maybe it's coming from Colombia or Honduras and Mexico or somewhere, and then it goes through Colombia, through Venezuela, and then up to the USA. And he's like, enough, like it is going to end. And so now the Pentagon's been involved in that one. And it's just awful. Alphonse, good to see you here in the chat today. Alphonse is a fan who and viewer who reaches out a lot on Twitter, and I always appreciate hearing from him. And thank you again for your generosity. He's after me to get a regular time slot, which is hard. What can I say? I got 3 kids, and I'm like it. Like we have like 2 part-time producers here, but like it's amazing what you can do in a show like this. It's just amazing to me, because when I think back about, you know, the staff of like 40 to put on my show at Fox, and then I look at this, I love it. Like it's such a freedom, and you know, I have 2 wonderful folks, freelancers, who work on the show with me. But this is all me, baby. Okay, so Alphonse, I'm working on it. One of these days, we're gonna stick to a time. I'd like 2 o'clock. That way, I'm home for the kids after school. But my point being, San Francisco is awful, okay? And the president wants to clean it up. And you know what? Newsom, you're gonna have to deal with it. I'm playing this again. I think this nickname will stick.
How about this? Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California.
Newsom.
He signed Newsom, I call him.
Newsom, you got that? Yeah, I sing too. Some of you saw that in the shorts feed over the weekend. Trish with Bocelli. You know, I had to chime in. Anyway, so much going on. I'll tell you, we've been talking about semiconductors and the importance of semiconductors and the importance of us having autonomy when it comes to semiconductors and not being so reliant on Taiwan, which then gets us into a situation with China, as you well know. We've been talking about this for some time at 76research.com. That's my financial research company. You can get the 76 report, use code word $. My gift to you, $, for the first 2 months. Then it goes to $9.95. We've had great success over there with all of our picks, so I encourage you to look at the portfolios.